So, Bill, did you really make $1 million out of racing that year back in, what, 88, 89? And are you going to share it with some Hot Rod Madness people? Hello? Bill.
Welcome to Hot Rod Madness. Located in Dawsonville, Georgia, the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame Museum is host to an extraordinary collection of race cars, trophies, and memorabilia. Hot Rod Madness had the privilege of meeting Gordon PIRKLE, the president of the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame and owner of the world-famous Dawsonville Pool Room. Nobody knows the history of Dawsonville, racing, or moonshining in this area better than Gordon.
Hey, Dollar Bill, follow me in here, man. Let's go check out the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame. Mr. PIRKLE, what year did you start the museum?
Well, we had University of Georgia came up here and did a study about Dawsonville because 400 coming through, you know how towns go to the 4-lane, what they could do in Dawsonville. And they said we need a designation. And that was in the mid or late 90s, and it got planned then because they learned of the racing history. And it opened in 2002.
Okay.
And right after 9/11, it done very well the first 6 months it was open, and it kind of went into the recession and everything. Then the city of Dawsonville bought it, and they let us, we're 501c3, the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame, and they made sure we keep this as a museum. So
you see what kind of crowd it draws. I mean, these people love to come in here and look at this stuff, man.
Probably that first year was real big, the first 6 months, but then that people wouldn't travel then, you know, it's scared to travel. But last year was the best year we've had since then, and this year is going to really beat next year. So.
All right. Okay, well, let's get around to see some of this stuff.
Oh, I want you to look at all
All
of
right,
it.
we'll look at all of it. All right, Mr. PIRKLE, look at it. 1935, real racing right here, real racing history, man. Well, how long have you had these cars in the museum?
Well, this car's been here pretty much the length of the museum.
Okay.
Speedy Moloch was put into the Hall of Fame real early from Macon, Georgia. But it's more like the Indy car. It's really before stock car was made famous, and he ran this car here back in the early 30s.
Wow. From Macon, Georgia.
From Macon, Georgia.
Cool. And the one with number 35 stamped on it?
Yeah, Don Mars from Hickory Frat down the road here restored this car, but he donated this back in the spring to the museum. It's a early Indy car. I think it ran in the Indy 1935 race, and these two cars are the oldest cars we got in the museum. This is a Helgi room here, so we put the oldest stuff in this room.
Yeah, it goes back to 35. Wow, that's pretty old. Man, the racing history. And it's amazing at what kind of bodies, like this one, this right here behind you, what kind of tiny bodies they retrofit a flathead V8 into, man.
V8. And they always got flat heads in them because that was the hottest thing back in
This one's so small, man, and it tucks in there quite nicely.
Well, Ford Motor Company they known for the flat head, a 60 means 60 horsepower, and the 85 was 85. Okay. And these got the 60 horsepower motor. Can you believe 60 horsepower?
Wow, 60 horsepower, yeah. Yeah, and they run the wheels off of them back then, just like they do today.
It was the fastest thing out there at that time.
Mr. PIRKLE, tell us a little bit of history on this number 9 car that's so famous.
This is one of my favorite cars of all time. It's Bill Elliott's 87 Ford Thunderbird Coors car. He set the record at Daytona in this car at 210.364 in 87. Wow. Then he went on in this car and set the all-time record at Talladega at 212.809. So that's the fastest stock car there is in the world.
Yeah, I'd say. Man, you got it right here in the museum.
Yeah, right here in Dawsonville. Born and raised in
Hang on now. Let me ask you this, Mr. PIRKLE. Now, just knowing race cars like you do, What was the secret behind it? What made it go so fast?
Ernie Elliott,
Yeah.
he could build a real engine.
Okay.
But this is not talked about much, but I think the real secret, reason Ernie done so great, Lockheed was just 50 miles down the road. He was the first one that would take cars down to the wind tunnel.
Okay.
They didn't even know what a wind tunnel was in Charlotte.
Really?
But now I bet there's 20 wind tunnels in the city of Charlotte. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that was I don't know, that was probably the first time somebody noticed what a
That's
wind
the only
tunnel
one
could do.
I think that's the first one I know
Yeah.
that's putting a car in a wind tunnel.
Cool. All right.
Then they learned so much about that. Now you can curve it in and make it go faster. Nobody would believe that before putting them in the wind tunnel. You think the straighter they are, the faster they'll go.
To truly experience Georgia's rich racing history and learn more about this elite group of inductees, we invite you to visit the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame, located on Highway 53 in Dawsonville, Georgia, or for more information at georgiaracinghof.com. Thanks for watching Hot Rod Madness.